In pursuing and looking at the question of how do we reach equivalence, how do we recognize each other's standards and systems, the process by doing that is not clearly laid out. So countries up until now that have pursued equivalence have to basically create the system each time they do that between the two partners. One of the other issues, of course, is that the process is always bilateral, and so that creates quite a lot of work between countries to pursue perhaps agreements with each of their trading partners.
Certification bodies are actually crumbling under the sheer number of accreditations that they're forced to operate and forced to have. Everybody is talking about global systems, but in fact we're stuck in national accreditation systems on the whole. So we really need a harmonized approach, perhaps an international approach, and IFOAM, I think, has a really big role to play in this.
What the COROS does and what the Family of Standards can provide is a really interesting way of bringing people together, finding commonality, and also laying out some of that process that's needed so that we can bring more people together more efficiently and have a very rigorous tool to assess standards and systems against. So the question of multilateralism, or the ability to bring more than two trading partners together to discuss organic equivalence, organic standards recognition, and systems for enforcement and oversight and trade, has been raised many times. It's an early idea, but one that's definitely worth pursuing. The idea of continuously engaging in bilateral agreements between two trading partners creates quite a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time. So to find a forum in which bilateralism, or multilateralism rather, could be pursued is a worthy objective. The COROS and the Family of Standards provide the underpinnings that we will need in order to make that happen, and it's something that I hope we can drive towards.
IFOAM is providing very good tools for facilitating the negotiations among governments for mutual recognition, and so one tool is the IFOAM Family of Standards. IFOAM does an assessment of these standards, so the governments don't have to do that themselves.
The reason for Saudi Arabia to become a member of the IFOAM Family of Standards is to increase the product range in Saudi Arabia in the retail sector. What initially happened is that the Saudi organic standard was assessed against the COROS. There was a pre-assessment. We then started working within a technical committee which is advising the Saudi Minister of Agriculture towards the approval of a modified Saudi organic regulation. We found that COROS was a very good and clear tool for us to assess gaps of our own standard and to overcome some definite shortcomings. One advantage for the Saudi Ministry of Agriculture, for the competent authority, is to recognize the equivalency of other standards which are inside the family scheme to really ease the import of organic products into the country.
Okay. The use of the COROS was really very good for us because it allowed us to assess and think about our standards, what are its strong points and our shortcomings, the gaps in the provisions that are vague. So it allowed us to improve really on our standards and really meeting the organic objectives with which the COROS is made for. I believe that IFOAM is doing a very good job in introducing its family of standards because it allows for inclusivity rather than being exclusive of the other standards.